Welcome back, guys. We are continuing our review series of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life and Antidote to Chaos. But really, we're not continuing. This is it. We're ending the series, guys. Our last video, if you remember, if you watched the video, was we finished up Rule 12, or Chapter 12, which was, I'm forgetting. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. And now we are finishing up the series with the bonus chapter of the book that Jordan included here. And his bonus chapter is called Coda, C-O-D-A. I'm going to jump right into it, but of course, as I've done throughout this review series, I'm not going to be reading the entire chapter, just the bits and pieces that I think really sum it up. Of course, if you want to, you can read the rest of the book, and of course, I highly recommend that you do. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into Coda. What shall I do with my newfound pen of light? In late 2016, I traveled to Northern California to meet a friend and business associate. We spent an evening together thinking and talking. At one point, he took a pen from his jacket and took a few notes. It was LED equipped and beamed light out of its tip so that writing in the dark was made easier. Just another gadget, I thought. Later, however, in a more metaphorical frame of mind, I was struck quite deeply by the idea of a pen of light. There was something symbolic about it, something metaphysical. We're all in the dark, after all, much of the time. We could all use something written with light to guide us along our way. I told him I wanted to do some writing while we sat and conversed, and I asked him if he would give me the pen as a gift. When he handed it over, I found myself inordinately pleased. Now I could write illuminated words in the darkness. Obviously, it was important to do such a thing properly, so I said to myself, in all seriousness, what shall I do with my newfound pen of light? There are 2 verses in the New Testament that pertain to such things. I thought about them a lot. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you. For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be opened. Matthew 7:7-8. Since I'd been just given of all things a pen of light, which could write illuminated words in the darkness, I wanted to do the best thing that I could with it. So I asked the appropriate question, and almost immediately an answer revealed itself. Write down the words you want inscribed on your soul. I wrote that down, and that seemed pretty good. A little on the romantic side, granted, but that was in keeping with the game. Then I upped the ante. I decided to ask myself the hardest questions I could think of and await their answers. If you have a pen of light, after all, you should use it to answer difficult questions. Here was the first. What shall I do tomorrow? And the answer came. The most good possible in the shortest period of time. The second question was in the same vein. What shall I do next year? Try to ensure that the good I do then will be exceeded only by the good I do the year after that. The next question ended the first set. What shall I do with my life? Aim for paradise and concentrate on today. I turned then from the use of time to my relationships with people and wrote down and then read these questions and answers to my friend. What shall I do with my wife? Treat her as if she's the Holy Mother of God, so that she may give birth to the world-redeeming hero. What shall I do with my daughter? Stand behind her, listen to her, guard her, train her mind, and let her know it's okay if she wants to be a mother. What shall I do with my parents? Act such that your actions justify the suffering they endured. What shall I do with my son? Encourage him to be a true son of God. I continued asking questions. The answers came within seconds. What shall I do with the stranger? Invite him into my house and treat him like a brother so that he may become one. What shall I do with a fallen soul? Offer a genuine and cautious hand, but do not join it in the mire. What shall I do with the world? Conduct myself as if being is more valuable than non-being. How shall I educate my people? Share with them those things I regard as truly important. What shall I do with a torn nation? Stitch it back together with careful words of truth. What shall I do for God my Father? Sacrifice everything I hold dear to yet greater perfection. What shall I do with a lying man? Let him speak so that he may reveal himself. How shall I deal with the enlightened one? Replace him with the true seeker of enlightenment. The next few questions and answers made another coherent group, focused this time on ingratitude. What shall I do when I despise what I have? Remember those who have nothing and strive to be grateful. What shall I do when greed consumes me? Remember that it's truly better to give than to receive. What shall I do when I ruin my rivers? Seek for the living water and let it cleanse the earth. The next set of questions were associated with proper responses to crisis and exhaustion. What shall I do when my enemy succeeds? Aim a little higher and be grateful for the lesson. What shall I do when I'm tired and impatient? Gratefully accept an outstretched helping hand. What shall I do with the fact of aging? Replace the potential of my youth with the accomplishments of my maturity. What shall I do with my infant's death? Hold my other loved ones and heal their pain. What shall I do in the next dire moment? Focus my attention on the next right move. The next set of questions and answers had to do with the development of character. What shall I say to a faithless brother? The king of the damned is a poor judge of being. What shall I do to strengthen my spirit? Do not tell lies or do what you despise. What shall I do to ennoble my body? Use it only in the service of my soul. What shall I do with the most difficult of questions? Consider them the gateway to the path of life. What shall I do with the poor man's plight? Strive through right example to lift his broken heart. What shall I do when the great crowd beckons? Stand tall and utter my broken truths. And that was that. I still have my pen of light. I haven't written anything with it since. Maybe I will again when the mood strikes and something wells up from deep below, but even if I don't, it helped me find the words to properly close this book. I hope that my writing has proved useful to you. I hope it revealed things you knew that you didn't know you knew. I hope the ancient wisdom I discussed provides you with strength. I hope it brightened the spark within you. I hope you can straighten up, sort out your family, and bring peace and prosperity to your community. I hope, in accordance with Rule 11, that you strengthened and encouraged those who are committed to your care, instead of protecting them to the point of weakness. I wish you all the best, and hope that you can wish the best for others. What will you write with your pen of light? And that is it, guys. Let me do a proper closing here. That is it. That is Dr. Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life and Antidote to Chaos series is officially done. It's been a long time coming. That was 13 chapters if you're counting the bonus chapter. To give my own little review of that last chapter, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way to end the chapter. Really interesting how he can take this ordinary object of a pen of light and ask these metaphysical questions, about life. I thought it was a great way to end the chapter. And so, of course, guys, throughout this review series, this has been a review. I haven't been reading, like that chapter I was just picking and choosing, focusing on the questions. Just as in that chapter alone, throughout the whole book, there's plenty that I didn't cover, plenty. I mean, I only scratched the surface of this book because this is a review, not an actual reading of the book. So if you guys want to learn more, if you've been really enjoying this review series, I highly recommend that you check out Dr. Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life and Antidote to Chaos. You guys can probably tell by now I can't recommend this book enough. It's really helped me a lot in my life. I've gotten a lot of value from this book. And if you guys have been getting value from this review series, then the next step is to go ahead and get 12 Rules for Life for yourself and read it, and I think you'll love it. I certainly have, and it's helped me a lot. Thanks for hanging in there throughout this review series, guys. It's been a long time coming, like I said, but we finally did it. If you guys like this and you want more, make sure to subscribe for future videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.